You know, I've heard this whiskey is kind of a big peel. Greetings, my name is Brian. Welcome to KillCo Whiskey Musings. This is week 2 of birthday month. My birthday. I will be, oh gosh, I'll be 43 by the time this airs. That feels wrong. This here is a Starlight. I've never had a Starlight in my collection. This will be the first one. And of course, it's an It's Bourbon Night pick because that's what I'm doing this month. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Carl T. Hubbers? Single barrel. Bourbon whiskey finished in VDN barrels. VDN standing for Vino de Naranja. To make that a little easier to understand, it's an orange wine produced in Spain. Or more specifically, and I'm going to have to look at this to say the words Huelva and Langa in Andalusia, Spain. And it is white wine macerated in orange peel. That's pretty wild. Don't know who came up with that idea, but I'm curious to see what it's going to do to a bourbon. Starlight is one of those distilleries that's being talked about in the whiskey world quite a bit. So I am looking forward to having this. And it's actually one of the distilleries I wanted to visit when I was in Kentucky, but I didn't. Part of that being because this distillery is actually in Indiana. Not far from Louisville, but far enough for me not to want to drive there in a rental. All right, enough about all the jibber jabber. Let's get on to this whiskey. Wow, this is quite a bit of plastic. Ooh, there's a strip. Thank you. Ha. Oh, yikes. Already got a whiff. It's citrusy. I have to hold this so high up. Oh, my hands. Okay, good enough. We begin with the color, and I would say this has got quite the orange tint to it, but I could just be imagining that. You tell me. Do you think there's an orange tint? Onto the nose. Oh, all right, not immediately citrus. It was actually more brown sugar. I'm thinking of pie, which is odd considering the concept of an orange pie. Very strange. It could be a thing. Probably is a thing. Orange candies. So if you've ever had like gummies that are shaped like oranges, unsurprisingly, there is an orange zest in there. So I am very curious what that'll do to the palate. There's some brown sugar, thankfully. It is also making me think of orange bitters. Pretzel. Do Twizzlers ever do an orange flavor? I'm getting a vanilla note, but it's not the typical one. It's like vanilla mixed with something. There's so many orange notes. It's wild. The other one that came through in my head just now was a chocolate orange that you usually see around Christmas. Ooh. It's got something wild on there. Quite the imagination, Brian. So think of a dark cherry dipped in that orange chocolate flavor. Sounds pretty good. Okay, finally getting more of the bourbon notes, but only slightly. It's behind all of these citrus notes. It smells really good, just not in a way I'm accustomed to, because it doesn't smell like bourbon that much, but it smells a lot like a orange popsicle or not quite orange juice. It's making me think of mimosas. That's always nice. All right, onto the palate. This smells pretty nice. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, hold on. 52.65%, 4.5 years old. First sip was a bit of a rush, mostly because the proof is what I completely forgot about. And it gave me orange vibes, but they're gone now. It was leaning pretty hard into orange mimosas. And now I'm smelling it, I'm getting more orange peel. Like if you just opened orange, you get that scent where it's both the rind and the citrus of the actual orange itself. Next sip, hold on palate, see what happens there. Woof. It's spicy. It's super spicy. Cinnamon, not so much vanilla. I don't get any vanilla, actually. Peppery, and not so much orange on the palate, but it is making me think of orange bitters. It's numbing my tongue, but it's not the proof. Ooh. Keeps being a bit overwhelming. It's got this really nice spice to it. It almost makes you think it's a rye, but it says it's a bourbon on the bottle. And it keeps giving me this orange bitters feeling. It lingers. It's got a very long finish. I'm gonna add a couple drops of water to this one. Ooh. Now it's got orange, but it also seems floral. Yeah, it opened up. The citrus notes are much more present. The texture actually changed. Spices simmer down. There's some of that bourbon sweetness coming through. It's just a little tingly now. It's not so aggressive. I'm wondering, still a bit spicy. Still a little aggressive. But this isn't baking spices. This is a whole different thing. It's more peppery, so it's more of a sharper spice. I think what's got me here is I've never had VDN wine because I wouldn't consider this a high proof for me, but it is landing as if it were. This is also one of those picks where I got it and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to expect from this. So my thoughts on this at the moment are either I'm going to have to pour more and add more water, which I can do later, or this is one that might do best with having it open now. So it can oxidize a little bit, maybe chill out. And this is my first whiskey of the day, so it may be punching a little hotter than it normally would. Confusing, intriguing. Will I want to try more Starlight? Absolutely. There you have it, folks. As always, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome, and I will see you out there. Thank you for joining me on KillCo Whiskey Musings. You can find my social media and Patreon in the links below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.